quite a mess down there. So really great job. The slide went very well yesterday. I have the numbers here. So we started the lateral slide around 10:30 a.m. Yesterday morning is when the bridge actually started to move sideways. And we wrapped up around 5:30 is when we reached our destination point, which I'll explain that here in a second. So we moved at 7 hours. We moved at 96 feet in about 7 hours. So if you do the math, that's 13.7 feet per hour. So I don't know if that's a record for moving a bridge, but it was an interesting thing to be down there watching a bridge go by, which I was down there. So it was pretty amazing to see that. So the reason why, you're probably wondering, why is the bridge not in its final place just yet? You can see in one of these, it's actually this video here. There is one bearing pedestal, that's where the bridge actually sits, that had to wait until the bridge moved past it because of the way that the different bearings, the different beams are at different elevations to form the crown in the road. That's how bridges are typically built. The highest most bridge bearing had to wait to be placed until the bridge moved over it. So according to plan, the bridge went to about 6 feet to its final location, and then they immediately moved in, placed concrete last night. This morning, they checked strengths on the concrete. They are doing final preparations for final grades, final elevations of that. Once that is done, these are the pedestals I'm talking about. So as you see, they step up. So what they have to do now is move the bridge the last 6 feet laterally, okay? Then they will carefully set it down, and this is going to be a very slow and careful process because we have to get that bridge exactly where we need it to be. Structural steel is flexible and it can move on its own, but when you do that, you induce stresses and forces into that steel that we don't want to be there. We want to make sure we put it back exactly where the way it sat before we picked it up. So we have a lot of different jacking systems. All that you see there in those pictures is just a kind of a demonstration of how complex it is. So we have the ability to manipulate the bridge as we set it down. The next step that we will do is we will set the anchor bolts. So the anchor bolts will be dropped down into hollow openings, circular openings in the abutments or in the piers and abutments. Once we get the bridge exactly where we want it, we'll drop the anchor bolts down, and then we'll grout those into place. So until we do that, we won't completely put the bridge down onto the piers, onto the concrete. We're actually going to still hold about 75% of the weight of the bridge in the jacking system, and then we'll wait for the grout to reach its full strength, okay? Because of the nature of this bridge, the bridge has some lateral forces that's going to be trying to push out onto those anchor bolts, so we have to wait till we achieve strength. So that's going to happen today. There's a lot of anchor bolts. John, did you have the number in your head? How many anchor bolts? I'm sorry. Okay, I threw you on the spot. Hundreds, I would think. There's more than 100 anchor bolts. So there's a lot of work there to be done with the grouting. So that is what we've done the last couple of days since we last met. Again, the slide was tremendously successful, and I'd like to say that the two highest risk operations are now behind us. The implosion, in my opinion, was the highest risk operation with the new bridge next to it. That went off great. And now the slide, which was incredibly complex and technical, simple by nature, but complex to pull it off. And I can't say enough about the expertise in the field that made that happen. So now, everybody's probably thinking the bridge is there. Let's get it open, PennDOT. Why isn't it open yet? So let me talk about just how much work there is left to do. It's not as exciting and it's not as exotic and complex, but it is all very important work now to get this done. So I talked about the careful setting the bridge back down, the setting of the anchor bolts, getting the bridge in the right place. From there, we're going to concentrate our efforts up on top of the bridge to get I-376 back open. So approach work, we have to set approach barrier. We have what we call moment slabs, the side barriers. Some of this is precast. Some of it is going to be accelerated strength concrete cast in place. What we call the approach slabs to the bridge We have to set some approach roadway. We've got some asphalt paving to do. We've also got to set two very large expansion joints at the end of the bridge. They're called modular dams, but that's to allow this very long bridge to expand and contract. So those will be going in this week. We also have to install conduit and make all the electrical connections and also the ITS connections. That's the fiber optic lines. All that has to go through. The conduit is already in the bridge. Now it has to be connected. We are going to put what's called a PPC. We love acronyms. It's a polyester polymer concrete overlay on the bridge. And what that is it's an impermeable and very durable overlay that will protect the concrete deck surface on the bridge. And the reason why we do that is because we don't want to have to touch this bridge for at least 30 years. So that will protect the concrete deck, and it'll help extend the life of that concrete deck for future generations. I won't be around next time they have to fix this bridge, but whoever's going to be doing this in the future will thank us for that, I think, in the public. Again, the asphalt overlay on the approaches, we have to do the line striping. Some of the things that have gotten done also this week, I'm jumping around a little bit today, we installed high friction surface treatment, so the tunnels have been paved, that the paving work is done in the tunnels. We installed high friction surface treatment at both approaches. The city side is all complete, so you'll see that when you get back out on the road. Our PennDOT crews are out there doing tree trimming work. They were doing it last week, and over the weekend they're going to continue to do that this week. So there's sections of the parkway that just because of the traffic volumes, it's very difficult to get out there, shut lanes down between all the other things that are happening. So we're really taking advantage of that, continue to do that. Somebody pointed out this morning, we were talking about the 511 cameras are still on that adjacent section of Parkway just to the east of the bridge. If you want to see just how much work is still going on that project, we're still really trying to get everything that we possibly can done. There's a flurry of activity going on out there. And then also, lastly, but not least, we do have a future Squirrel Hill interchange project in the works, and the engineers are out there looking at that, taking advantage of the closure, so we have people there. We also have a project in the future, it's in design right now to replace all the lighting in all the tunnels, all 3 tunnels, so they're actually taking advantage of the closure, and they're out there taking surveys and inspections and things of the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. So that's it. So what questions do you have? Oh, the detours. I should touch on the detours. Not a whole lot to talk about on the detours. They do seem to be running a little bit heavier today than they were last week. We're wondering if just more people are deciding to venture out onto the road. So we're seeing them around 45 minutes today, the interstate detours. So we'll see how that goes this week. Hopefully they continue to move smoothly. Our people will continue to monitor those and make adjustments. So.
Do you know what happened over the weekend? I think it was Google Maps, possibly Waze, navigation systems. Drivers apparently were being told that Commercial Street was open. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we heard about it. We were working through that. So that was Apple Maps. It started with Apple. We don't have any control over what they do. We were making requests to them. We made numerous requests for them to correct that. So they finally did. I think it took 24 hours. Is that right? About 24 hours from we were continuously bugging them, so I'm not sure why that happened. Then we noticed that Google also did something similar. Yesterday we noticed, so we were contacting them. So yeah, that was on Commercial Street itself. Yep.
Did you say the work inside the Squirrel Hill Tunnel is done, the paving work there, and then the other projects happening simultaneously, are those on track to be completed at the same time or before the bridge?
Yeah, so to address the Squirrel Hill Tunnel, the paving work is done. They still have to paint the lines in there, and then I think we also have a tunnel inspection scheduled. They're going to go out, and they're going to completely 100% hand sound the roof of the tunnel just to make sure that's everything. So it's typically very tough to get to the very center of the roof, so we're doing that. And then the adjacent project, when we get the Commercial Street Bridge open, there will be shoulder restrictions, and there will be a lane restriction on the eastbound side. Where does that lane come on? At the Edgewood?
The Wilkinsburg interchange.
The Wilkinsburg interchange. So we will have it open to 2 lanes in each direction. But yeah, the work will continue out there. And again, that's a big project. That project's going to continue going on the next 2 years. But we did maximize the closure with everything. So yeah.
Right. right now, does it look like we're on time, or dare I say, potentially early?
Dare you say it, and dare I say it, actually, even more. Yeah, we are actually looking at an early opening. The best I can tell you right now is maybe maybe the middle of next week, plus or minus. Okay, so a little bit of that depends on the weather. Looks like tomorrow's going to be a bad weather day for us. We can't place concrete, and certainly can't do that overlay on the bridge in the rain, but we're going to keep an eye on that. No promises just yet, but yeah, we are tracking a little bit early right now, so that's great news. Yeah.
I believe you said the sliding process would take 25 to 30 hours. Are we still in that window? Because I know you did most of it in 7 hours, but is this including that time?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit ahead of it, and I mean, I've been thinking about that, Adam, like how do we count that? Do you count overnight where we actually weren't sliding it? And also, we're not done sliding it, so we got to come back. So yeah, I mean, I think all said and done, about 7 hours yesterday, maybe another couple hours today. So yeah, it looks like that went way quicker than what we were thinking it would take. So that's great. I mean, we were doing a safety talk yesterday morning, and the guys from Mammut reminded everybody that this is not something you ever want to rush. This is something that you do very slowly, and trust me, I was wishing it was going even faster. But no, I mean, yesterday was a wildly successful day for us, I would say. Yeah.
Is there something you can point to for why it went so well, or better than expected, faster than expected?
I want to say, number one, kudos to HDR and the design team, number one. They carefully planned this. They designed this bridge around Mammut's system, okay? So their design worked great. Number two, shout out to the surveyors out there, and Fay and all their subcontractors that built this bridge to fit exactly how it did. I mean, I'm amazed at how they built all that off to the side. They slid it into place, and it all fits like a glove. It's amazing. So kudos to that. And finally, just kudos to all the people out there, the men and women out there building the bridge, and also Mammut, who just, I mean, it took a great team effort. It was Mammut, this Fay, their subcontractors, the Fay, all working together, surveyors monitoring the bridge, monitoring every movement of the bridge. They had survey shots. They had 3 different ways of monitoring the bridge. Through Mammut's system, you can monitor the displacement. Then they had a global surveying system. They can monitor the overall movement. They could tell if the bridge, how high up it went, how far down, how moved. Then they also had a system that they can monitor relative movements. So like if one end of the bridge moved relative to another, they can tell that and say, wait a second, abutment 2 side moved a ½ inch more than abutment 1 side. So, but at the end of the day, just really great planning and a lot of hard work.
Looking over my notes, I do apologize if you said this, but I just need some clarification. So as of this morning, the bridge was 6 feet away from its final position. Today, the bridge will be moved that last 6 feet laterally. Give us a timeline. When is that happening? This afternoon, this evening?
Yeah, I mean, John, do you have a better timeline?
Late morning, early afternoon.
For the last remaining lateral part of the slide? Okay. Yeah, late morning, early afternoon for that actual slide. Today,
Okay.
yes, today.
Thank you.
Also, for clarity, I know you said hope completion mid next week. When would it reopen? I guess when's completion, and how quickly do you reopen everything after completion?
Oh, in my mind, completion is reopening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, so. Now, completion of the overall project, that will go a whole nother year. As you said, as you can see, there's still a heck of a lot of concrete and rebar down there to clean up. And then Commercial Street itself, that's not on track to open early. We're still targeting the August 3rd date. So, but the Parkway itself, yeah, a little bit early.
Like, if we say as early as possibly 29th, that's mid next.
I don't want to narrow it down to a day just yet, yeah. I'm going to say middle of next week, plus or minus. Yeah. We'll know more as the week goes on, and we'll certainly keep everybody updated. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much. We'll be here. Do you have any other questions? Forget anything? Okay, all right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Yes. We know a story about 9 Mile Walk and that time. Is there anybody here to be able to speak to with the causeway? I spoke to an organization last week.
Right now.
All right, Anna Schechter with all the latest details live from the scene in downtown Manhattan. Anna, thank you so much. All right, on to weather. Utah is cleaning up after some major flooding this weekend. Debris flows reached as high as 15 feet. The National